All right, Shalom. This is Gamali Allah out of Great Millstone, Atlanta. Want to give all praises to YAHWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHWASHI, BAHASHAM, Kakwadash. Double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to all the Ikim that are pushing out this truth and sincerity. All right, now this is going to be a quick lesson. All right, and this is going to be entitled, You can take Jake out of the world, but you can't take the world out of Jake. Okay, now this is a classic saying. Okay, but you know, it applies to this truth. Okay, all right, because Jake doesn't want to let go of the world. All right, you know, in any aspect, you know, and of course we have sincere men that have detached themselves from the world, but amongst majority, I'll say majority of Israelites that are in the truth, all right, you know, they haven't really let go of the world, all right. Thus, you know, you can't take the world out of Jake because the world is deeply embedded in Jake, and that's one reason why Jake is super emotional when it comes to the scriptures. Okay, is because you can't take the world. They've already been indoctrinated. They've already been um, uh, seasoned and programmed under the so-called white man's system. So therefore, the world is too deeply embedded, okay, in them, all right, to take out, you know. So therefore, you can take Jake out of the world, meaning becoming an Israelite. You know, you when you become an Israelite, all right, you are out of the world, okay. You know, you come to realize that you're not a Negro, you're not a so-called African American, all right. You know, you put off the titles that the so-called white man gave you, right? But you know, that's it. That's as far as some men go. That's as far as some Israelites go. And you know, like I said, you can't take the world out of them because at the end of the day, you know, that's all they know. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and get some precepts. All right. And this is Romans 12:2. Be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of the Most High. Yeah, so be ye not conformed to this world. And the Heavenly Father, YAHWASHI, okay, He doesn't want us to be anything like this world because this world is pure wickedness. All right, but you got a lot of Jakes, they can't shake the world off of them, all right, because they're too deep into the world. They're too much influence. That's why you know, a lot of older men, okay, men of older age, it's hard for them to accept the truth because they've been in the world too long. You know, you can't take the world out of them. You know, you could take them out the world. You can tell them they're Israelite. You can tell them, look, you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to do this. You know, this is how you keep the law to the best of your ability, and you can help them. But a lot of jakes that are older in age, they don't want to hear that. Okay, they basically like I said, you know, you can't take the world out of them. You know, and that's why you have a lot of Israelites that are rapping. Okay, you got a lot of Israelites that have these nigga Passovers. You know, I was watching one Passover earlier today. I don't know what group it was or whatever, but it just looked straight trapped out, man. You know, it just looked straight trapped out. It looked like a real. It looked worse than you know, black functions, man. You know, it just looked worse. Like the vibe just looked grimy, man. It looked worse than a lot of these black functions, man. You know, these world, you know, I'm talking about outside of Israel, man. It looked like something you don't even want to go to. You know what I mean? And hey, you can't take the world out of Jake, man. Jake loves the world. Jake loves rap. They love black culture. Okay, Jake loves um, partying. Jake loves shopping. You know, Jake has all these type of addictions. Okay, shoe addictions. Um, let's see. You know, all these different things, man, and what you know, all these different things, man, to Jake. But you can't take it out of him because it's just too. It's too much. You know. Hey, well, I'll put it this way. Another saying, like they always say, you can't turn a hoe into a housewife. You know. And hey, aren't we supposed to be known as the women of YAHWASHI, right? So hey, there you go. A lot of these Israelites are in whoredom, okay? All right, and whoredom is what? Whoredom is spiritual whoredom is spiritual adultery, okay? Bowing down to other gods, okay? Like you got these Israelites worshiping Christ, or you know, calling on the name of Christ and calling on the name of Yeshua and Yahweh and all these different other gods, right? Which, like I said, uh, you can't turn a hoe into a housewife, you know, because we're supposed to be the wives, we're supposed to be the bride of of YAHWASHI, you know, we're supposed to be the brides of YAHWASHI, and a lot of these Israelites are committing whoredom, okay? So you can't take the work, you can't take you can't take the the world out of Jake. Okay, no matter how much you try, no matter how many precepts you pull out, they just don't want to get it. All right, now this is Ephesians 4:22, and it says, let's get 21. Let's see. Ephesians 4:21. If so be that ye have heard him and have been taught by him, as the truth is in YAHWASHI. All right. It says that ye put off concerning the former way of life the old man which is corrupt according to deceitful lust. Okay. Because that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to put off the old man. Okay. And you know, a lot of these Israelites, all right, they haven't put off the old man, okay? All they've done is basically come into the knowledge that they're Israelite and just go off into pure fuckery, man. You know, and you just can't take the world out of some people. It's in them. They're too worldly. Matter of fact, let's get that word worldly because I've looked this up before. Let's get this worldly. Okay. All right. This is worldly. It says. Slack it. Bear with me 1 second. Yeah. It says of or concerned with material values or ordinary life rather than a spiritual existence. See that? And we know that this thing is spiritual. Okay, when you come into the knowledge of of this truth, all right, this is a spiritual thing, all right, and it's you know, it's not to be played with. But you got a lot of people that are concerned with material values and ordinary life. What is ordinary life? That's carnal. Okay, that's basically, your job, your family, your different affairs in the world. Okay, and a lot of people are very worldly. Okay, um, they tend to the affairs of this life. When the scriptures say, uh, um, "Lay not your treasures on earth." Okay, so you shouldn't really, and it says, Micah 2:10, arise and depart. This is not your rest. But you got a lot of Israelites that are making this their rest. Okay, all right, they're making this their abode, and they're comfortable. Okay, they like you know they like the world. Matter of fact, let's get this. This is John 15:18. If the world hate you, you know that it hated me before it hated you. Verse 19. If ye were of the world would love his own. But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you. Okay? So, you know, um, basically, you gotta hate the world. Okay? You can't. It says, if the world hate you, know that it hated me before it hated you. So we are hated for YAHWASHI's sake. Okay? And it says, it's like, go back to it. It says, if you were of the world will love his own. Yeah, because a lot of these people, the world loves them. Okay? They get a lot of love in the world. And that's because they're attached to the world. Okay? The world is in them. All right? And there's no turning back. Okay? It says, because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world. And YAHWASHI took us out of the world. So, going back to the title of the lesson, it says, it's we you can take Jake out of the world, but you can't take the world out of Jake. Okay? And it says, because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world. So YAHWASHI chose you out of the world, okay, to come into the knowledge that you're Israelite and to come into this truth. But you just couldn't get that world off of you. And the scriptures say, many are called, but few are chosen. Okay? So you were called to hear this word, okay, and to come up out of the world, okay, because this truth is something that's unique and spiritual and nothing worldly about it. But you basically took it, and well, that's that seed that fell. Let me get that. All right. This is this is Matthew 13:5. It says, some fell on stony places where they had not much earth, and forthwith they sprung up because they had no deepness of earth. Okay? And that goes into being grounded. Okay? It says, and when the sun was up, when the sun was up, they were scorched. And because they had no root, they withered away. Yeah, and that's a lot of these Israelites, okay? They basically didn't really unplug from the world. That's what it is. Okay? They haven't really detached themselves completely from the world. And that's a requirement for you to really come into this knowledge and to be sincere, okay? Because YAHWASHI said, come as babes, okay? Or put you have aught that ye be learned again. Let me get that real quick. You have need that should be learned again. All right. Hebrews 5:12, it says, For when the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of the Most High, and such as have need milk and not of strong meat. Okay? Because you got to focus on the milk. Okay? You can't, it says you have, when it's time for you to be teachers, you have need that someone teach you again. All right? Because a lot of these people, they aren't grounded. Okay? They don't have that deepness of earth, like the verse in Matthew says. Okay? All right? And ultimately they haven't really unplugged from the world. Okay, they haven't really been truly rooted in this truth. Okay, they haven't really, detached. Because in order for you to really be truly rooted in the truth, you gotta be detached from the world. Otherwise, the seed that's sprung up is gonna be a worldly seed. You're gonna have the truth ultimately, but then you're gonna have them little worldly ways and aspects about yourself, and eventually it says it. The sun came up and they were scorched. Okay. All right. Let me see if there's anything else. Well, that was pretty much it. I'll close on that. Lord willing, you were edified. But the main point being, Jake doesn't want to unplug from the world. Okay. All right. You can take Jake out of the world, but you can't take the world out of Jake, and that's a lot of these Israelites. All right, because they don't really truly want to be woken up. Okay, they don't want to have the correct way. All right, they just want to do it according to their own will. All right, so I want to give all praises to YAHWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHWASHI, BAHASHAM, Rakakodash, double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom.